She was like an angel. She was taken so early.
These are not just the words of someone. These are the words of a grieving father. You might be wondering what the reason is behind his statement. Yes, today we're going to delve into this matter. Who was Laken Riley? What led to her tragic demise? And what can we learn from her story? Chapter 1. The tragic loss. As we step into Laken's world, imagine the tranquility of the University of Georgia campus, shattered by the discovery of her lifeless body. In the serene surroundings of the University of Georgia campus, tragedy struck on a fateful February day. Laken Riley, a promising 22-year-old nursing student, embarked on her routine run near the intramural fields, unaware of the grim fate that awaited her. The discovery of her lifeless body in the wooded area behind Lake Herrick sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the illusion of safety and invincibility. Her death was caused by blunt force trauma. As news of Laken's untimely demise spread, a palpable sense of grief descended upon those who knew her. Her family and friends enveloped in a haze of disbelief and sorrow. The campus police, tasked with unraveling the mystery surrounding her death, launched a meticulous investigation, determined to bring clarity to the unfathomable tragedy that had befallen their midst. Her tragic murder sent shockwaves through the community, leaving her loved ones grappling with disbelief and grief. Chapter 2. A father's anguish. How does a father cope with the loss of his daughter to such a senseless act? In the wake of his daughter's tragic murder, Jose Riley, the grieving father of Laken Riley, found himself thrust into the national spotlight. His first public appearance since Laken's untimely death was marked by raw emotion, as he shared his profound sense of loss and regret. Speaking to NBC's Today Show, Jason bared his soul, expressing the deep-seated wish that he could have shielded his daughter from harm, even at the cost of his own life. As he grappled with the devastating reality of Laken's absence, Jason spoke out against the exploitation of her death for political gain. He condemned the divisive rhetoric surrounding immigration policies and border security, lamenting the polarizing responses that only added to his family's pain. Despite the personal turmoil he faced, Jason remained steadfast in his conviction that Laken's memory should be honored for the angelic soul she was, rather than reduced to a mere political talking point. The killer, Jose Antonio Ibarra, cast a dark shadow over Jason's grief, his illegal immigration status sparking heated debates across the nation. Jason's anguish was compounded by the misidentification of Laken's name by President Joe Biden, adding to the surreal nature of his ordeal. Despite his political leanings and support for Donald Trump, Jason recognized the broader significance of Laken's story. Her tragic death served as a rallying cry for issues such as border safety and violence against women, amplifying the voices of countless others who had suffered similar fates. Through his anguish, Jason remained determined to ensure that Laken's legacy would not be overshadowed by political agendas, but rather serve as a beacon of hope for a better, safer future. Chapter 3. Unraveling the mystery. As the investigation deepened, the spotlight intensified on the suspect, Jose Antonio Ibarra, casting a shadow of suspicion over the entire case. The suspect in Riley's killing, Jose Antonio Ibarra, a 26-year-old Venezuelan man, was arrested on February 23rd and charged with multiple offenses, including malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, concealing the death of another, and hindering a 911 call. Ibarra had entered the United States illegally with his wife near El Paso, Texas, in September 2022. Despite his illegal entry, Ibarra was allowed to stay in the U.S. to pursue his immigration case due to special protective status granted to Venezuelans at the time. Details surrounding the specific events leading to Riley's death remain unclear, but the warrants against Ibarra accuse him of various acts, including causing great bodily harm with an object, inflicting bodily harm to Riley's skull, and concealing her death by dragging her to a secluded area. The killing allegedly occurred sometime between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on February 22nd. The pursuit of justice for Laken Riley took on a multifaceted dimension, intertwining personal loss with broader societal issues. As law enforcement grappled with the weight of providing closure to Laken's grieving loved ones, the case underscored the complexities of navigating justice in the face of political scrutiny and heightened public attention. Chapter 4. Laken Riley Act. How did Laken's death lead to calls for legislative action and societal change? In response to Riley's death, the U.S. House passed a resolution known as the Laken Riley Act, which aims to require the Secretary of Homeland Security to take undocumented immigrants into custody if they have been charged with theft. The resolution also grants state attorneys general authority to litigate against the Secretary of Homeland Security for alleged violations of the detention and removal requirements outlined in the resolution. The passing of the Laken Riley Act reflects the broader political discourse surrounding immigration policies and border security, with Republicans, including likely presidential nominee Donald Trump, using Riley's death to criticize President Joe Biden's immigration policies. The resolution's future now depends on its consideration in the Democrat-controlled Senate. Former President Donald Trump made a post on Truth Social, expressing concern about the impact of what he described as border invasion is destroying our country and killing our citizens. The horrible murder of 22-year-old Laken Riley at the University of Georgia should have never happened. He later met with Riley's mother and stepfather before a campaign rally in Rome, Georgia, on March 9, 2024. During the 2024 State of the Union address, President Joe Biden mentioned Riley's killing, mistakenly referring to her as Laken Riley. This mistake occurred after Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene shouted Riley's name at the president. Biden faced criticism from Democratic lawmakers for referring to Riley's suspected killer as an illegal rather than undocumented, a distinction he later expressed regret for. Despite being invited by Georgia Congressman Mike Collins, Riley's parents, Jason Riley and Allison Phillips, declined the invitation to attend the State of the Union. Laken's story transcended the courtroom, sparking a nationwide conversation and collective resolve for a better, safer future. Chapter 5. A Call for Change. In the aftermath of Laken Riley's tragic death, the echoes of her memory reverberated far beyond the confines of the courtroom, igniting a fervent call for change in its wake. The introduction of the Laken Riley Act heralded a new chapter in the ongoing dialogue surrounding immigration reform and public safety measures, as lawmakers sought to honor her memory through meaningful legislative action. Propelled by a sense of urgency and determination, advocates and activists alike rallied behind the cause, determined to prevent similar tragedies from befalling others in the future. As the nation grappled with the implications of Laken's loss, her legacy served as a rallying cry for justice, inspiring a collective resolve to enact tangible change and uphold the values she held dear. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, be sure to check out our other content for in-depth analysis on important societal issues. Explore how Laken Riley's story continues to shape conversations and drive positive change. Subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content.